It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the AMP Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to a Thursday afternoon. I gotta tell you, I felt like I was on Grand Central Station today.
Why?
You got more people in here. There people running left, people running right, people screaming. One on the phone that was supposed to be on set. She says, "I can't. I'm on the phone."
And did you see where I was? I was in my office on the floor.
You were on the floor.
Our guest walks in. I'm thinking no one's going to see me here, but there I was on the floor.
I had to get up to keep score, and I got the
They had
worst
the movie
score.
going. Movie Wars.
And the movie was and Josh lost. The girls beat him.
The girls beat him. It was kind of an unfair disadvantage to Josh because his partner, his host, wasn't in studio today, but he kept it going.
But I got to tell you, Ava was the one that picked the question. Who picked the question?
I think Ava did. Avraham.
So he's on the outside looking in, right? Nobody knew. He didn't know
Right.
anybody.
Right.
I think we have found the solution to that problem. Because the
questions?
guys write the question.
I know.
He didn't write the question, we got it from online.
That's okay.
Yeah, but it's better than Dan writing the questions and knowing the answer.
That is true. Let's see if we cheated.
But that game was really intense. It was tied up there 3-3 for a little bit, and Josh held his own.
And poor Katie, she's like, I got to go to class. I got 2 minutes. I got a minute. Why did we put Katie on board when she's got school?
Because she knows the board. I don't
guess
know.
that's
Because
true.
Bree was on the phone. Katie was, I don't know. It seemed like Grand Central Station. There were guys running in, people running out, people doing sound, people. I was like,
We got a lot
Wow.
of people here today.
I noticed.
Tuesdays used to be our
We
quiet
need
day.
a bigger place.
I know. Happy, what is it, Thursday? Happy Thursday, everyone. Give us a call. I'm laughing at the duck up on the camera, and I put it there. 888-994-4995, Studio A today. What are you pointing at? National Ice Cream Cone Day?
No, but I got a story about that. But it says it's crazy enough to it's crazy enough to work because I'm crazy. It's
You know-
the message of today.
You know what today is?
Wednesday.
First day of fall. It's Thursday, but it's the first day of fall.
I know. I heard Alana saying that it's proper now to take out your white pants and your Halloween stuff.
Actually, Josh said he wants to decorate today.
Yeah, right. Like he has so much time.
I don't know. Alana, you want to decorate today? She doesn't even hear
What
me.
are we decorating?
Halloween.
Oh no, we ain't hunting. That's in October. No.
It's Alana's last day. I think we got to do like a big hurrah for Alana's last day and Sabrina's. We're not going to talk about Sabrina. It's the first day of fall. Halloween decorations.
What are you gonna get? Leaves?
Yeah. We can take our pumpkin back off the floor and actually now use it.
We have table mats.
Oh, we have table mats.
Yeah, we may have
Oh,
to
you
do a
guys
little
have,
bit of shopping
you got it all ready
today.
to go.
You never know.
We have it.
More to come. It's Alana's last day, so we have to let's do something fun. Alana, who has been with us for a year and a half, who has been Miss South Florida Fair for, I guess, about a year already, maybe 8 or 9 months. She ran for Miss Florida, and she is moving on with her degree in hospitality and everything she has learned here to an incredible new position and opportunity down in East Fort Lauderdale. So we wish her all of the best. I'm going to end up crying again. They're killing me today, this crew, but well deserved.
Well deserved. So visit her at the
Museum
can we
of
say the place?
Science.
Visit her over there. Ask for Alana.
And starting on Monday.
Wouldn't
So
that
if
be
you, if
funny
you have a
if
big
we
event
went?
to do, if we want to do an event down there, we'll have to call her.
We should set up an event.
We should, right?
We got enough people in here that there are 2 events.
So it's always great when they come through our program, but it's always bittersweet to see them move on. Anyway, what else you got cooking today?
I'm still trying to share out the show.
We have got a great guest joining us, a longtime friend of the cafe. And just when you think you lose track of people, and then they send you a newsletter or an update, and you think, yeah, that sounds just in alignment with what we're doing. So we've got David Price Francis joining us. His most recent book, Go with the Glow, is what I just want to double check. Go with the Glow. So we're going to talk to him about all of these things. It's my father's aide. I might have to answer this. Let's take a quick commercial break. Let me grab this, and we'll be right back.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you. Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Welcome to Movies of Del Rey, a family-run movie theater that has been serving the Del Rey and Boca community for over 30 years. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Movies of Del Rey offers great admission prices, low concession prices, and quality customer service. Movies of Del Rey provides the quality of the big box theaters without the price tag. Movies of Del Rey provides new Hollywood content as well as new indie and independent movies. It truly is a hidden gem. Whether you're hosting a private event, party, or fundraiser, or are looking for your next date night activity, Movies of Del Rey is the perfect choice. Come on down to Movies of Del Rey, located at 7421 West Atlantic Ave in Del Rey Beach, or visit us online at moviesofdelrey.com.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, Contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Old habits die hard, I think. Old habits die hard. Because she's screaming through the theater.
heard it.
Oh, we got you. All right, we got David Price Francis with us. Go with the glow. Yesterday we had an amazing show. We've been doing a lot. We even started a new channel called Spirit Life TV. We have shows that are spiritually based, energy based, psychics, connections to the other side, connections with Tracy. And I got an email from David Price Francis, and it talked about business feng shui. So I've got a few feng shui things around here. You see my crystals and different things around here, but that's not what your email was about.
That's true. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Freddie.
How you doing?
How
So
are you,
welcome,
buddy?
David Price Francis, to the show.
Yeah, so what? I was doing a 4-part series in conjunction with the Conscious Design Institute out of New Jersey, and they're a specialist feng shui institute. So I'm one of their guest speakers and kind of on the faculty there with them. And we're looking at the dynamic of business and how we employ our energy in business. And I've created a 4-part course. First part is about creating harmony in your business, and it looks at the different kinds of leadership. So we've got authoritarian leadership, like in the military. That is a red, more masculine energy. So and we've got, and I've worked a lot with New Age retreat centers and the like. And kind of the idea is, let's all be friends together. And that has a whole different set of problems because it produces a social kind of milieu, and familiarity can grow. So that is more of a blue energy. So you've kind of got two kinds of energy. We used to call it the carrot and the stick. The stick is that red authoritarian, you'll do what you're told when you're told, and if not, there'll be trouble. And then more your kind of idea of giving confirmation and encouragement is more the blue, is more actually feminine in its nature. Not to do with man and woman, but masculine and feminine energies.
Part of how you run a business.
Yeah, so people get attached to a particular polarity. So it's a problem when someone is like a conservative. What that's saying is we get attached to saying no to things. If someone says, well, I'm a liberal, they get attached to saying yes to things. One is more contractive and comes into a knot, and the other one is more based in solution in terms of being expansive. But you can't solve all problems by being liberal because you'll go bankrupt. And you can't solve all problems by being conservative because you'll never go forward. So in business, the first lesson, because there were 4 of them, but the first one is saying, occupy the 3rd position, which is the neutral position. From that place, you can go conservative and say, no, we're not doing that. Or you can go expansive and say, yes, we're going to expand our way out of trouble here. And it's a balance of the two. So if someone gets identified with either polarity, they're going to run into guaranteed trouble. So the 3rd vector, which is in the terms of color of energy, is white. So you've got your red, your blue, and your white. The white is the neutral. Like when you go to the doctor, they wear a white outfit because white is meant to be clinical, it's meant to be non-biased. So if there's a bias in the business towards being either too conservative or too liberal, just like in politics, like in relationships, feng shui applies throughout all human behavior. So this was putting it with business.
And what's interesting, though, it's not the physical feng shui. We're talking energy feng shui. So what you bring to the business, what I bring, what they all bring,
Yep.
is all part of the feng shui of how
Absolutely.
we're going to grow this.
Because feng shui is all about energy. Mostly it's about planetary energy. Example, I brought a bell with me for the physical feng shui. Interesting that Freddie was ringing a bell at the beginning, right? Well, I brought my own bell.
Props.
I use this at home. I use this when I go and visit clients because the original purpose of a bell is to break up energetics. That's why they have them on top of churches. So when someone's climbing up the hill to go to the church, the big bell is ringing, and it's breaking up the lower energies in their energy field. So when they walk into the church, they're not thinking about the price of fish or what's going on at the market. They're actually kind of cleared that energy away. So tape recordings of bells don't work. So if they've got a tape recording in the church and they're playing a recording of a bell, that doesn't have the impact. What works is the fact that it actually, there's a vibration. When this clapper, as it's called, hits the rim, it sends out a vibration in a 360-degree pattern. And I use this, I recommend it. I work with therapists, nutritionists, all kinds of folks. I've done talks with energy psychologists. I recommend to psychologists, they have one of these in their office, and when the client leaves, they ring the bell in their office, and they break up the energies of that client. Because otherwise what happens is, say a psychologist meets a client, let's say there's an energy of depression. And so some of that transfers to the psychologist tries to give good energy to the client leaves, well, they've left some of that depression in the room. Well, the next person coming in is walking straight into that. So they can pick up the previous client's problems. So therefore, a wise thing to do is have a bell, ring it between sessions. And I brought one other little tool. This is the physical feng shui. This one I call spritzing. This is a glass bottle. I recommend it instead of plastic when possible. This has got frankincense oil in it, combined with water. And this you just literally, I'll do something here, and spritzing a little bit of spray. So that again can be used when someone leaves, particularly in a therapeutic setting. Not so much if you're running a commercial business where you're, say, selling computers.
We actually do it in here between sets and shows.
There we go.
We
Which is
spray.
a great
I
thing.
don't know if that's why you use the bell. Did you ever know that about the bell?
When I was altar boy, I used to ring the bell. You know, it was an honor to be able to do that in the
There we go.
Catholic religion. And they only chose 1 or 2 a year. And they told me the story of the bells.
So you knew.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, in church, they practice feng shui.
Well,
They just
in every
don't-
angle.
They just don't call it that. Like so-called holy smoke. I mean, what's the difference between smoke and holy smoke?
I used
know.
to do that.
Yeah, the incense. And usually it's frankincense based. In the Catholic Church, they use what's called basilica, which is a special blend of frankincense and some other things. And they produce holy smoke. Well, holy smoke, its purpose is to energetically clean the area before communion. So, and I saw this amazing place, I think it's in Spain, where they've got this huge incense burner, and it's like it swings through the entire church.
Wow.
And what they're doing is they're cleaning the energy of the whole congregation before they try and bring in the higher energy. Because communion's meant to be a higher energy that goes into the wafers, which they call the host, because the host holds things. I mean, this religion's amazing, because you ask someone, do you want to meet a ghost? Most people go, ooh, no. Say, oh, do you want the Holy Ghost? Oh, yeah. What's the difference? The difference is in the word holy. And holy is saying it's a high level of vibration. So churches, mosques, synagogues, they're all being dedicated to a higher energy vibration. So that's a level of feng shui that's to do more with spirituality and religion. But there's also feng shui to do with a business place, patterns in the business, habits in the business, how to clean the energies. I must say my primary area is with solo entrepreneurs or smaller companies, retreat centers, working a lot with them, and also therapists, nutritionists, psychologists, because they're all dealing with energy of other people. And so there's always an energy exchange. You know, if you sit down with somebody and you're going to help them improve their diet, so you're going to teach them about diet, they're going to meet a resistance. And then they come to their coach, and the job of the coach is to get them past that resistance. I call it the charge to change. So otherwise they could just read a book. But the idea is that the coach gets them past their blockage. And then, of course, the coach receives some of that energy and needs to know how to clean themselves up. That's why people who do energy healing work, if we need to know how to then clear and clean those energies. Otherwise, we end up becoming an accumulation of the stuff that we're clearing from other people. So clearing practice is really important. And there's a lot of different practices. The simplest one, and also, you know, it's not expensive, buy yourself a bell and clear.
I
and
never
clean
knew the
energy,
bell. Well, we should clear this place all the time. We've got bells on every table.
which is amazing. Yeah. So
We
it's
need
like
more
we
cowbell.
know
We
things.
need more cowbell. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be more the physical side. And then I also, in the second part, go through dealing with conflicts and resolving conflicts. And the third one's interesting, which is be like rock, be like water. And that's about, when necessary, having your hardcore values that are non-negotiable. And then, outside of that, having the flow, being pragmatic. Like in business, it's really necessary to be able to flow, to have a liquidation sale. I mean, what an interesting word. You take something that's locked up, like assets that are locked up, and you have a liquidation. And would you believe that even goes back into alchemy, where they said there's two kinds of issues you can have. One is coagula, which is red, which is things become a knot. And the other is you can be over-solve, which is too liquid. So if we're too flexible, then we can lose our core and we can't remember what we're doing and why we're doing it. That's the danger of being over blue. But if we're over red, we become over authoritarian. We're saying, well, no, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. No, you can't do this. And that tends to be more fear-based. And the blue is more inclusive. But really, if you get, and in that first class, it's about creating an acid or an alkali business ecology. Acid is one that's based in fear and the people doing what the boss says because the boss says so. The alkali ecology is more being generous and trying to become like over-friendly in a way. The interesting thing is you can get burnt by acid, but you can get burnt by alkali.
I was going to say, so there's in between.
In between.
And we're balancing however many energies we are in here.
Exactly.
Do you find business has changed after COVID? Or the core principles, your core coaching, is it still the same? Or has the workplace changed?
The core coaching is still the same because COVID is something to navigate through. It calls for a pragmatic approach. So the core business, what the core business is, maintains the same, but is it flexible enough to negotiate its way through? Like you did amazingly well because you had an event space and it's like, okay, we're turning it into our studio, we're keeping 6 feet apart, we're not stopping. But if someone doesn't have the flexibility and they're like, no, this is how our business runs, and they're over fixed, being like rock, then they couldn't come through COVID because they didn't have the pragmatism to find another model, which you did. You guys did that.
Well, the aspect of balancing business, I mean, there's a lot of art in here which carries its own force.
Yes.
Music, the lighting, everything that's in here is in here for a reason. We call it feeding the house.
Yeah.
So you can have businesses that do the same thing. If it's for the public that comes in, it serves one purpose. If it's for the workers that are working in it, it serves another purpose. But what I like about it is that every day the balance changes.
Yep.
It's not the constant, it's the flow. It's like water.
Yes.
The only way, and even frozen water is moving, if you look at it. The only way to keep balance is to stay within that realm of the frequency that you're getting from the things around you.
Yes.
And a lot of business owners miss that. They think it's putting your head down and doing it and then it takes care of it. And that isn't true. You got to always put a little bit of ingredient in every business for it to grow and mature. Mm-hmm. We just changed this wall. And we sat down and discussed what goes into the wall, and then we feel its vibration. And I'm very sensitive to it. I sat in a different part of the studio today. I sat in the back. And Dawn says, you never sit back here because I feel a difference. I've been here long enough.
Yep.
I feel a difference. There are certain changes that I want to make, much to Josh's chagrin, because he's the one that helps him. And now we got guys that can help move things around.
Help move things around, which is helpful.
But there's a reason
Yeah.
that I do it. I just don't do it to put it up.
Yeah.
I do it exactly what you're describing. And businesses going through COVID have to understand, you have to be creative with the space you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do that, then it's going to fail.
Yeah.
It's really simple,
Yeah.
It's a simple mathematical equation if you just look at it and you feel your way through it. And businesses will grow in the color spectrum, in the realer spectrum, in the feeling spectrum, if you just follow those technical colors and frequencies. I mean, To me, it's really simple. I look at it.
This core code, this one talks about valuing yourself. And it's funny because I opened your breakfast yesterday, Josh. I opened this one up to, you are of great value. Do not throw your worth away.
Don't give away your shine.
Yes,
How many times have
yes.
we said that?
Yes. And that's also working. I work a lot with language. We worked into that last time. You take the word worth, change the letters around, it says throw. That's why it says do not throw your worth away,
Wow.
because it's built in. It's built into the language. Our language has got amazing energetic mysteries within it. If we learn to look, people go off to like the Scandinavian runes and they go, oh, this has got special secret energies. The best set of energies I know is a Scrabble set, because letter A has its own energy, letter E has its own energy. It's like dawn is a wand, and you're holding a wand, right? It's like it's all in your name right there. And so we can work with the energies of language. That's a huge thing. You're doing it every day. So working with the energies of language to produce a particular vibration. And this part of the skill in that is catching the word. I look at a word as like almost like a tennis ball. You put energy in it and throw it to the other person, and then they throw it back. It's like the words contain energetics. So there's words that can be healing, like I love you is very healing. It's very different to say I loved you. It's only a letter D, but it takes it from being in the present to being in the past. It's a huge difference. So language is another key ingredient in business. Like, are you able to take the authentic message of your purpose and put it into language that authentically matches? Just like Freddie, you were saying about color vibration. It's the same in language. So we get different color vibrations that can travel with different words. And that's part of the feng shui of business, is capturing placing the words that can capture the energy in the way that you really want to get that energy to travel. So I look on language as really energy transmission.
And then it's
so,
the delivery of the words.
Delivery
Right?
of the
If
words.
you and I say to Garcia, we need you to do this, and Josh has the same message, same words, but his tone is different, it's going
Yes.
to be received different.
Exactly. So it's two things. It's the words and the tones. I found this one day. It's amazing. When you look at, it's just jumping away for a little minute, but when you look at the story of King Arthur, so I studied that for quite a while in England, and you look at the idea of the sword and the stone, and you're taking that sword from the stone, it's not. You take the S from the beginning of sword, the S from the beginning of stone, move it to the end. It's the words and the notes. And when you can get the right words with the right energetic notes and tones, then you can say, open sesame, and the thing opens. All you're saying is the word open, but it's all in how you say it. It's
That's
about who's saying it, what's saying it.
That's
yeah.
why I was always taught, you don't say, you ask. So if I need Garcia to do something, and this is biblical. You know,
Yeah.
the greatest book ever written is the Bible, because it does it. It does that whole thing with telling you stories so that you can fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
So you go to Garcia, what do you think about if I wanted to move that camera over here? And his answer, it's his answer.
Yes.
It's not me asking him to do
Yes.
it. It's him replying to me how he wants to do it. And you get a whole lot more done in
Yes.
that direction,
Yes.
because you're transferring your energy to him and he's bringing it back. It's the ping pong effect that you
Yes.
talked about.
You're exactly into that third kind of leadership, because one kind of leadership is over-disciplinarian, doesn't leave room for initiative. The other one can get to be too loose, and then things fall apart because people don't turn up on time and everything gets a bit too loosey-goosey. But the third kind is what I call shared reasons. That is, you know your purpose, and then you invite the people who are working with you into that purpose, and then they can share ideas. You can bring ideas back to them, but it's the shared reasons. One thing that demands is that the business owner is very clear as to what their purpose is and what their reasons are. So it comes back to the entrepreneur as to, well, what exactly are you doing and why are you doing it? What's your core priority? There's a great analogy that I like to use, which is that we have three major energies: the energy of our body, our physical energy, our mind, and our emotion. And in ancient traditions, they likened that to a chariot. There was the chariot itself was the body, the person driving it was the mind, brain, and the horses were like the emotion. Well, what's missing mostly is the owner who's then sitting and directing the mind and brain, and directing the looking after the carriage, and looking after the emotions, the horse. And so the owner needs to be the one who's saying, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. And that means having a really core sense of one's own purpose, taking ownership of your own life first, and then taking ownership of the business,
Right.
and then sending that presence throughout everybody else in the ecology, in the building. And a marvelous analogy for this is the idea of who's the boss, right? Well, in researching the word boss, because I do this language stuff, boss simply means the center of a wheel. That's what it meant. The original center of a cartwheel was called the boss. Someone's holding a shield, the bit in the middle is called the boss. And then in organization, the boss has spokes coming out, the spokespeople. And then you have the workers who which can be a tiring position around the edge of the wheel. And that's where we get those expressions from. And I like to say to anyone, yes, you may be working for that in that organization, but you're still your own boss. Don't give away your center, because your center is your core value, like you were saying there, Dawn. It's your core value. It's who and what you are. And you might be working for someone else, but you're still your own boss in your life. You still make your own decisions. You still have your own values. And that's where, let's say, as an example, in the military, you get the person who still is their own boss who says, no, I've received this order, but I'm not doing it. That's a rare person, but they still have command of themselves. They haven't become fully obedient. And in a corporation, as long as someone can think for themselves, they can actually say, no, that order is wrong, and I'm not following it. And it takes courage. It's much easier to go with the group than to actually be your own boss. So being your own boss doesn't mean having a business. Being your own boss means having your own life, which
This
is
is
more
about- you're talking
significant
about
than that. Yeah.
energy and spiritual authenticity. So every single person in here should stay true to who they are.
Exactly.
And if they're not in alignment with the business model, then this is not the place for them.
Yes, and at the same time sharing their ideas, but there's a necessary core to the business, which is yourself and Freddie.
An exchange of energies.
Yeah,
Well, what I
'cause
like-
other people come and go.
The balance that I like is that we offer the producers an area of creativity. The productivity, I understand.
Yeah.
But that falls on me and Dawn to make sure that all the spokes are in alignment.
Yes.
But the creativity is what I'm looking for.
Yep.
Because if I can get them to be creative, then productivity will follow.
Yes.
It's like you saw the game today, that they changed the curve. I mean, he's never even been involved in the game. And he did it today, and they did it today. There's a couple of things that I would have changed to get it done smoother, but I'm looking for the
Yes.
creativity.
Yes.
And let them talk to me with their creativity, and then I'll say, okay, this is the productivity. Now, 5 years ago, Dawn and her daughter put the program together with universities. We got kids from every university, some as far as Arizona, right, who have come through the program and they've taken it on to do other things with it.
Yep.
Learning curves. They go to school and they say, oh, I already know this. Tells the professor, I already did this. So they have to up their game so that the class will learn more, because somebody's taken this internship and they've learned the program at Bay. But what I love is if you change the spot and you add creativity to it from the outside, then your productivity is going to go in one direction because you're embedding it in a room full of colorful energy.
Beautiful. And
Different energies.
Creativity comes out of someone being their own boss.
Yes.
They come inside, but they still have their own boss. Again, in language, that word creativity, you change the letters around, it says reactivity. And reactivity is where someone's purely dealing with what's coming from the outside in, whereas creativity brings energies from the inside out.
Inside out.
So in the best business, you can have 30 people working with creativity. But if the if the person or persons who see themselves to be the so-called boss in the old sense insist on everything being done their way, then you get two creative and 28 people who are being told what to do. And there isn't much room in that for, as you say, creativity. So it's beautiful, the ecology.
Well, then
that
you've
you
got
make.
your affirmations of empowerment. 9 lights affirmation. Why 9?
Oh, there's a big question. Because 9 is, you hear a lot about the 7 habits of highly successful people, all these things. Well, 7 is 7 parts of the picture. So the reason for 7 is, looking at feng shui, the planet has what's called a septenary government. You look up in the sky, you see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. You listen to a sound scale, you hear do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. So it's all 7s. So the planet loves 7s, the power of 7. But we miss 2 parts, because the rainbow has a pot of gold at the end, right? Well, it also has a silver flash at the beginning. So we're born with a silver spoon, that's the old expression. So you have a flash of silver at the start. That's a new intention, new beginning, I'm going to try a new thing. That's like a silvery whoosh, it's a sudden input of energy. Then it goes through 7 stages, which is also 7 stages of life. So Shakespeare is 7 ages of man and woman: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I think of that as 0 to 11, red; 11 to 22, more orange; 22 to 33, more yellow; 33 to 44, more green. We head towards the indigo and violet years, and then we go into the golden years. The golden years is when we're getting ready for the exit. So any natural process has 9 parts. 7 you can see, and 2 that are harder to see. And that's why there's 9 affirmations in the book. It's a great question.
And
I don't say that in the book, I just put 9.
You
but
put
that's why.
9, but there was a reason. You didn't just say lights. There was a reason you put that number.
Yes.
But what's interesting is this is about spiritual happiness, and you do workplace feng shui. But
Yes.
the book is all about you individually, and each individual finding their happiness and their light and connecting with who they are,
Yes.
their positivity,
Yes.
more than the workplace.
Yes. Well, my core, if you were to say what's the core of David, what is it that he does, is about energetics. So energetics, I've written a book on relationships there called Partners in Passion. The reason it says passion is that any word that ends in I-O-N is an energy word. So when 2 people get together in a relationship, they pass lots of ions backwards and forwards. You look up the word ion in the dictionary, it says a positively or negatively charged particle. So any word that ends in I-O-N, depress ion. Ooh. Congratulate ion. Any word that ends in I-O-N is telling you this is about energetics. So what I think of myself as in that is about the energetics and how it manifests in different dynamics. So yes, feng shui in the workplace. Yes, developing purposeful relationships between individuals. What I'm working on at the moment is a book about the energies of narcissism and how to deal with those, or how to repel those. Because I found in my couples practice, the question I get more than any other is why do I attract narcissists? And I'm telling the person, no, you don't attract them. It's okay. They're predators on the prowl looking for someone. And because you're empathetic and you're generous, you tend to be a good target. So in my experience, the favorite target of narcissistic, highly selfish people is empathetic, generous people. It's very interesting. So still to maintain empathy, but with boundaries. It's like having the blue generosity, but with some very definite boundaries that then are around that. So this is all about, in that sense, energetics. So feng shui of the workplace, of course there's energy in the workplace, and feng shui in the house. Like, I love the fact that you change the pictures, because what I teach people is you can have a $20,000 piece of artwork on your wall and it is clutter if it's not there for a fresh reason. If every time you look at it, let's say you were given $1 million painting by your auntie, but you didn't get on that well with your auntie, and every time you look at it you think, oh, auntie, you want to get rid of that painting, worth $1 million or not, it's clutter. Anything that's there without a fresh reason becomes clutter. It gathers
It's a
stagnant
whole
energy.
metaphor for life, isn't it?
Yeah?
It's a whole metaphor for life.
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's take a commercial break.
Sure.
When we come back, you've got our crew totally engaged. I'm going to see if they've got any questions for you. David Price, Francis, more to come. Go with the Glow, the tale of Dr. Wu and Partners in Passion. I never knew about ION.
Ion.
Interesting.
Channel 18.
We talked about that this morning, right?
Of course.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
When it comes to investigative services, you can't settle for inattentive or irresponsible services. PI Network of Florida is a firm that you can rely on for actionable insight for personal or professional matters. From surveillance and insurance claims to background checks and identity theft, the investigative services are extensive. With over 30 years experience and 2 decades of serving the community, PI Network of Florida is trustworthy and reliable. Call today at 786-768-4394. Trust your gut. Trust PI Network of Florida.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40-plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Hey travelers, everybody wants cheap airfares, but where can you find them? You call Smart Fares. Our prices are direct from the airlines and they're so low they're not published anywhere. Smart Fares specializes in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rentals, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, Smart Fares can help you get there cheaply and with the best price guarantee. If you want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call us right now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these low rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the lowest rates available, so don't wait. Call Smart Fares right now for the best price guaranteed. Save up to 50% off business and first class. We've got great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 855-828-0198. That's 855-828-0198. 855-828-0198.
If your family is suffering from inflation and high costs caused by Lois Frankel's reckless policies, Republican Dan Franzese is clearly your best choice for Congress. Dan is a successful businessman who understands finance and economics. He's not a politician. Dan grew up blue collar and knows how tough inflation is on working families. Dan Franzese will go to Washington and fight the liberals who are killing us with inflation. Dan Franzese for Congress.
I'm Dan Franzese and I approve this message.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Breaker. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Hi, hello, and welcome to another segment of Brooklyn Cafe News. And happy first day of fall to all you fallers and autumners out there. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful fall season, I believe. So get your pumpkins out, get your autumn leaves out, get your pumpkin pie out, and get ready for a new season. And our first news of the day from Good News Network. If we can get that first image up, Sabrina. A sustainable 3D printed ranch house was built, and it wins an award. And it only took 2 weeks to construct. It's 2,045 square feet, mid-century modern 3-bedroom and 2.5-bath home. And what is 3D printed are the walls. Everything else is wood flooring, wood, everything. But it's 3D printed, and that's actually a good accomplishment in the 3D world, in the printing world out there. If we can get the next image up. Sea turtles boom astonished volunteers in Florida with best nesting season on record. Uh-oh. Those don't look like turtles. There's the turtles. In the southwest Florida beaches of Bonita, Vanderbilt, and Naples, there was 55 short of 2,000 nests found in all those beaches. So good sign for all the turtles out there. Hopefully they made it all to the water and live a beautiful life out there. All right, with that truck image of what you saw from NPR, there was a truck collision. It was either earlier today or earlier yesterday morning at 6 a.m. Spilled beer cans all over the Florida highway, as the Highway Patrol announced, and it was located in north of Tampa. There was only minor injuries, and it didn't happen at 6 a.m. They got it all cleaned up, and the highway brushed off at 8:30 a.m. Long traffic, and that's a lot of beer on the road. So if you ever wanted a cold one, just on the highway, just go. You just got to step outside, and there's one on the road ready for you already, I guess. Thank you. I think there's one other image. Because we wanted to do a highway patrol. So this is the highway of Miami Road, probably later tonight. It's going to be backed up. It always is. That's Miami for you. And this has been... Why are you booing me? Well, this has been another segment of Brooklyn Cafe News. Always the good news and never the bad. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you catch us on the flip side.
That's a very interesting newscaster that you hired.
I love the tagline, always the good news, never the bad, because I love that.
I think we should start promoting it.
Let's do it, yep.
Right? Cafe Good News.
Good news. Send us your good news. Do shout outs, do all kinds of things. Send us your good news. Put a promo together for that. Why not, right?
Why not?
Positive energy, staying within your authentic space.
That's all. That's all you could do.
Anyone have any questions for David while he's here? The guys have been, I'm impressed that your guys are pretty engaged in this conversation.
They always are.
Are they?
Always are, yes. Don't take us for granted.
I think Abraham, it surprises me the most because he's day one here and he's shaking his head.
Yeah, because I live by these books of energy and whatnot, like feng shui, Chinese feng shui, or like anything. I make sure I put out good so I can receive it, because we're all energy.
A2.
Hello?
A2.
We are all energy. So how did you start doing this practice of energy?
Oh, I was born into it. My parents do it all the time, every day. We're Jamaican, so we like to burn sage and sulfur in the house to get our bad spirits and things like that. Like in church where they have the sage and the sulfur burning on Palm Sundays, I believe. We do that. There's a big ashtray in the middle of the house. We don't stay in the house because it gets too smoky. Come back, it feels good.
It's true. It's pretty much when you have an asthmatic attack when I used to do that near.
Well, you gave me an asthmatic
Now now I do the liquid spray because the incense are making him
It's
crazy.
really strong. You know, when I first went to NYU, this professor told us when we got in, don't think that everything a professor is going to tell you is the truth. They're going to give you questions about how they see things, but the question is, how do you see them? And do you agree with what I'm saying? And if you don't, you have the freedom to show that you don't. So it's a clever balance when people give you that kind of power, because they're asking you to shine your light. And a lot of people are reserved in doing that. That's the hardest thing in here. When they come, somebody's been training them to always listen. You know, you go to college, you put the tape on. I used to go to school, and everybody that went in there left the tape machine and left. I was the only one that stayed. I was the only guy. Because I didn't have one. And second of all, that to me wasn't learning. Learning is sitting there and learning and absorbing. So I did real well in school because I was the only one there. So when they come in, they've been taught to listen and not create, not talk about what they feel and what they can do. And this is refreshing. You know, Josh put this whole skit together, he started doing the essay, and we want to grow it. Cooking with Chaos, same thing. That's a skit that was put together. And we want more of those skits because sooner or later, like the game, Movie Wars, or Bird Talk, you're going to hit, you're going to pop something that people are going to say, you know, I kind of like that. And it takes off.
Good news. Good news broadcast is great. Because what's that expression in the media? If it bleeds, it leads. You know, you can't, they specialize in low-level vibrations, basically, because the lowest level of vibration is to do with violence and power and control. Next level up is mostly economics. Then you get to reference, like in college. And it's only when you get to the next level up that you start to get to what could be called feng shui, which is working with the dynamics of planetary energy. And the idea of, like, it's a square, most space is a square. And it's the most unnatural shape that we can work with. It's also the most economic. So I think it was Black Elk of the Dakota who said, the Europeans, they're putting us in squares. There's no power in a square. The power is in a circle. So then feng shui is taking a space and bringing through as much planetary energy as possible. So that's why, like, aromatherapy, working with different oils, working with different incenses, what that is really about is taking the essence of, let's say, lavender, and then that's a planetary energy that you can find out in the fields, and bringing it indoors to refresh the energy in a space, because energy gets stuck if we don't keep regularly refreshing it, moving it. And it's like that obviously in a business, so that's part of how it crosses over into the business world. So if someone just stays as they are, like, well, take COVID. If someone just said, well, no, never mind what happens in the world, we're sticking with our business model, well, they probably won't have a business after a certain number of years. So it's constant recreation, there's a lovely word, in terms of creativity, because recreation is playtime. Yeah, and I love the idea of being able to play. So the dynamic used to be 8 hours work, 8 hours rest, 8 hours play. So, but play is getting squeezed out of the system because people are being trained to 16 hours work, 8 hours sleep, back to work.
Yes.
And it's exhausting and it burns people out and they die early because no one's built for that. So play is literally recreation of our energies. So when we can get creativity happening, going to work can be fun. I mean, it really catches me how someone plays in a band, you know, they play a sport, but they don't play in the accountant's office. And they don't play in the lawyer's office. They're meant to take it seriously, not for playing. But playing is integral to the human nature. So one of the encouragements inside the feng shui of business is to make sure there's some playtime. Not just downtime or rest time, but actual recreation of energy, and being able to get together in the spirit, a more playful spirit, which you've got on the go here. Yeah, and I was looking at the pictures and realizing that, you know, every person who painted one of these pictures, they connected to an energy. They had they had an idea. So they take it from energy and then they turn it into physical. And then we look at the physical and we try and get back to the energy of what caused it. And that's why we pick up the vibration. So as human beings, sometimes people say, well, we're all energy beings, which is yes, but also we're all material beings. So we're in both. We live in both. You know, our planetary body, in many ways, is like our Earth, inside of which our individual uniqueness and our creativity and our boss can grow. So then, when we pass on, you know, as they say, we shuffle off our mortal coil, right, or kick the wooden overcoat. There's these different English expressions. We've actually created something to go forward with. I know that's a long way on from a feng shui of business, but a big part of my practice is about the energies of human development. And someone asked me, what is your business, David? It's like, well, really at core, it's the human being development business. Like, how do we develop as human beings? And that includes the business dynamic, the relationship dynamic, the spiritual dynamic, the religious dynamic. They all have different energies. And we become the concentrate of all the energies that we process.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
You go to school, you go to open a business, right? You're going to be an entrepreneur. So you go to Tech Runway at FAU and they say, all right, draw up your business model.
Yep.
Let me see your business plan.
Yep.
They don't talk about energy. They don't talk about your self-worth. They talk about how much is this widget going to cost you to produce?
Yep.
What are you going to sell it for?
Yep.
What's your ROI?
Yep.
None of this. So when people come to us and say, what's my ROI of working with you?
Interesting.
Our ROI is a whole lot of this.
Yes, yes, yes.
And with this, we say, then comes selling your widget.
Yes.
But this has to come first.
Yes, agreed.
And this is exactly what he's talking about.
Well, it's funny because...
So I'm going to give our next client his books.
But think about it this way. Somebody comes to you and they ask, because they do this all the time, what is
All
the
the
ROI?
time, right.
Okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a plastic bag. And I'm going to say, I want you to put your business in this plastic bag.
Right.
Now, one or two things are going to happen. They're either going to walk out or they're going to say, I'm crazy. How do you put a business into an ROI? Because sometimes you run across an idea that just won't work. It just won't work.
Yeah.
But you can't say that. You got to say, well, if you tell me what your idea is, then maybe I can explain to you how ROI works. But the one constant thing that always works is you're going to take a shot. And you're going to take a shot in an environment that's set up to succeed. You know, you're not in a dungeon when you come here. You're in a room that a lot of people have come here and they've done very well.
Yesterday, everyone got to connect.
Everybody yesterday did very well.
Connected with everybody. Yep.
So when you tell me the ROI, I'm going back to learning to be a student and not giving. You're learning.
Yes.
You're regurgitating something that was taught and explained to you. You see, failure is a whole lot easier to teach than success. Because success requires you to put an effort.
Mm-hmm.
Failure, you don't got to do nothing. You're going to fail.
Now, when you guys go to school, do they teach you about energy and business?
No, ma'am. They just teach you. Because school in itself is just like warming you up for prison. They give you a number. They give you a number that you got to remember, your school ID, and you have to listen to
Your
somebody.
social security number?
No, the school IDs. That's just like a prison number. And then you got the teachers just telling you. They don't really teach you. They just tell you like a guard would. And what stood out to me, what David said about how squares have no power in it, but they teach you in school when you power something, it's to the second power. You square it in math.
Correct.
That's true.
And then it's to 2. And that was weird. That's like the world is just trying to desensitize us to bad energy. Because why are you teaching squares?
Yeah.
There's no energy in a square.
Because it's easier for me knowing and you not knowing for me to get what I want from you.
Exactly.
See, I'd rather drink from your wine of knowledge than for you to drink from mine, because I'm not going to learn anything in this direction. I'm going to learn something in this direction. But in business, they'll teach you to be successful, you got to manipulate your workers. And that isn't true at all. That's not the way this system should work. That's why we have problems. It's because somebody always wants to be bigger than somebody else.
Exactly.
Then egos get in the way.
Everybody want to be a chief.
There's not enough Indians.
No.
We got too many chiefs,
Way too
not
many
enough
Indians.
Indians in the equation. But what I like is when I first meet them and I hit them with this thing, they look at me like I'm nuts. Dawn laughs. In the beginning, she didn't laugh. She just thought I was crazy. But she laughs. Now she does. Because to be successful, you got to believe you are successful.
Right.
It ain't going to work the other way around. I can rah-rah with pom-poms all day long, and it ain't going to reach you.
Like in the word impossible in itself is I'm possible. I seen he was doing a lot of etymological research. Yeah.
I like fun and dysfunctional, but that's another story. But the equation will always stand. You know, I always am a firm believer that it's great to get the wife. It's great to find her. It's easy to marry her, man, but to keep her, that's the trick. And for you to be successful, you got to keep it. And that's the hardest thing on the planet, is to keep it. Because there are going to be days you're going to say, you know, I can't do this. And you got to keep it. There are going to be days when somebody else tells you, you are not successful, and you got to keep it. That's why that book, The Secret, I found it so intriguing. Because in order to maintain that book, you got to think about it 24/7.
Read this if you like The Secret.
24/7, but you got to hold on to this. And you got to hold on to it good, bad, or indifferent. You got to hold on to it when everybody else tells you you can't.
But your book is a whole lot like that.
It's got a lot about it. Yes, it has a great deal in there, in depth. Because this to me is a crucial part about The Secret and why it works, when it works, and when it is almost working but not quite. Excuse me. Which is that we need to get what it is that we really want from our conscious to our subconscious until it's pretty much imprinted in every cell. And that's when the so-called law of attraction actually works. So to me, a major problem with schooling, and I look at my own schooling, was it was all about the mental realm and putting information in to then regurgitate to say, well done, you got 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, whatever. But the way the human really works is the idea of ask and it shall be given, is to be able to ask with the conscious, the subconscious, the emotions, the cellular structure, the alignment. And when we really get aligned, so this means that we're still wanting it when we're asleep, just like we want it when we're awake. That's when we're fully imbued with our purpose. That's when we attract what goes with that purpose. If we think it occasionally, just like you were saying, Freddie, if we think it occasionally, then it's a passing thought.
That's right.
Thoughts don't carry that much power.
That's right.
So every thought has an electrical signal. So everything's, we're a physical being but with the energetics working through every part. Our thought is quite a low-level electrical signal. Now, when we can turn that thought into a contemplation, and when we can join the energy of our emotion with it, then we can take it from a 1-unit signal to a 100-unit signal. Then it starts to become attractive. So to me, the power of prayer is joining mental and emotional energy together to make a very potent energy transmission. So that's when we join the energies up, we integrate them. I work with a network that I call integrative energetics, and it's about integrating the different parts, our emotional part, our mental part, our physical part, so it all gets together behind what it is that we want. And we kind of take ownership throughout all parts. That's when the law of attraction really kicks in, and we start to pull to ourselves what it is that we're resonating. What often happens, I find, is that someone's saying, I don't understand why it doesn't work for me. And they're trying to send a message with their mind, but meanwhile their subconscious is loaded with previous experiences that's calling for something different. So then you get a person that says, why? I had this actually happen. I had a woman say to me, I've married 3 husbands and they're all the same man, right? and what she said, I'm trying to get away from this. And what it was her subconscious was locked into the kind of man that she knew. Her conscious was going, I want someone different, but it wasn't getting through. And the conscious to me is like the 1/10, the tip of the iceberg. The subconscious is the 9/10.
Rest of the iceberg.
So if we want success, it's getting it to go through the different parts. And that's where the passion comes in, as you say. So that's where mentally we can go, oh, what's the ROI? Because we've learned that phrase like a parrot. But it doesn't actually carry the passion. And I'm sure you have this experience as I did, going to
it's
school.
many.
There's like one or two teachers that actually had passion. And again, the word passion, you change it, says, I pass on.
Mm-hmm.
When someone's really got passion, they pass on the energy charge to go with what they're talking about. Otherwise, yeah, you might as well just have a tape recorder, like a recording of a church bell.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
not
do
the same
anything
thing.
because
It's not
it
the
hasn't got the vibration. Yeah.
It's funny because when I was being mentored, I coached it. I don't know if you play sports.
I only play I never played for school, recreational.
Well, I've coached everything from schools
My
down
dad's
to
a
little
coach, though.
leagues. And it's funny because if you look at a baseball diamond,
Yes, sir.
everything on that diamond represents part of the game. And I learned this the hard way. You got to surround the bases across home plate. That's a run. The object of this game, there's two objects. When you're on offense, is to cross that plate. And you have to be able to take all 26 players. These are 26 spirits, mentalities, thoughts. Some think this way, some think this way. And you got to be able to generate one level of thought to score a run. And you have to be creative to do that. So part of the equation of business is to look at your assets and put them in a place of success.
Yes.
So his place may not be his place.
Yep.
His place may be a higher frequency than his. There may be more frequency gathered and higher than his. And you have to balance that out to cross the plate.
But you know what's interesting is you cannot tell by looking at someone on the outside. We have no idea where they fit spiritually, what they believe in, energetic, nothing. We knew nothing about you until today. I met you 2 days ago, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
He's been here 2 weeks.
But you see, that's
But
why
you-
God gave you two
to
eyes
witness what it is.
and 2 ears, is that you witness and you sit. And the best teacher is the one that observes. And you look at the strengths, and you look at the strengths, and all of a sudden, that whole picture comes to you.
Whole perspective changes.
Usually
right?
at 4 o'clock in the morning, for me.
Yes, that's when the subconscious kicks in.
That's right.
Because the subconscious, it takes time. Our conscious sends all the signals into the subconscious. And that's why you say, I've got to sleep on it, or I need a little nap. And then the subconscious goes sorting through all of the impressions, and sometimes then flashes something in, and you go, that's it. There's a beautiful story about, I just told this yesterday, in fact, but about the Singer sewing machine company.
I remember it.
Mr. Singer,
Mhm.
and he was trying to find a way to produce a machine that could sew. And he copied how women, mostly women at the time, were sewing. He's trying to make a machine that will do it. And he made like 100 different machines, and they just would not work. So he goes to sleep one night, and he has a dream in which, instead of the needle being threaded at the top, the needle's threaded at the bottom.
At the bottom.
And the needle's going up and down, and it's working. And he wakes up, and he goes, I'm going to try that. And that is the sewing machine. That was the beginning of the Singer sewing machine
Interesting.
business.
Wow.
And that's a true story. It's an amazing thing, because if we really, this is the secret, that was the secret at work for him, that he loaded what he wanted sufficiently. And that's also the power of repetition. And work is, I think of work as energy applied to a purpose. That's all it is. So a business, the person in charge of literally in charge, energetic, of the business, needs to be applying their energy into the business. That's work. Now, if they turn their attention elsewhere and they don't really pay it that much attention, they can expect it to gradually degenerate, because it's the ongoing presence of the person that creates the presence in the business. So my wife is from Poland, and she has lots of Polish sayings. One of them is that it's the eye of the master that keeps the horse well fed. It's an old Polish saying. In other words, you keep your attention, you pay attention. We pay attention to what it is that we want. And that means it gets continually recharged with energy. And that's what causes the business to be able to succeed, because the person's putting their life into it.
It's true. And when you put your heart and soul into it, your passion and your purpose.
That's right. That's why you come in here.
Yeah.
And I don't want anybody to see me coming. I'm going to come in here, things are delivered, and we go. Things break, I unbreak them, and I use them. They laugh at me because I don't throw anything away.
Yeah.
I see a purpose in everything we have. And if it breaks, then I see a new purpose.
Yes.
Not a throw it away purpose. I don't throw it away, and she'll tell you. I don't throw it away until it's done. It's dead.
If he throws it away,
Then
you know
it's
it's done.
Right.
But I have moved more parts, more pieces to get this at a certain level. Because it's funny, I used to own houses, apartment buildings in New York. I owned a lot of them.
Yep.
And I didn't buy one that didn't talk to me.
Yes.
And they used to talk to me and say, fix me and I will reward you. This is such a true story. I can't believe I'm saying this. And I sold 49 of them, man. Millions.
Yeah.
And even my ex-wife said to me, what the hell is this? And I didn't sit down and think about it. I just did it. Like
Yes.
the movie. Don't think it, do it.
Yes.
Don't think to.
And the courage to be able to say, I'm going to do it,
Yep.
is bigger than anything else that any professor, any mentor could teach you because it's coming from you.
Yeah, that's why I've been doing all these internships lately. I just been putting my whole self into it.
Yeah.
And different things on Indeed, different like jobs, photography jobs, videography jobs, cinematographer jobs. I'm just ready to make it now.
You never saw him coming, did you?
Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But the bottom line,
We gotta
the
take a
bottom
break.
line here is what you do with it. And you got to do
Yes.
something with it for it to be of value. Something that you want to help others get to the same level that you're at. Because you're going to be at this level. You're there. Now you got to bring everything else around you to that level, and then you watch what happens.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. More with our Thursday, first day of fall. See what else the crew's got cooking up on the other side of this commercial break. Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to stephaniejaffeart.com.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. Guess what? They want your money and they can take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter right over here that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you right now. So what do? You fight back by letting our team of experts work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And hey, we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws, and we'll fight really hard to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket. 5 minutes of your time right now can save you thousands of dollars. And the best part, it's a free call, so please call right now.
Call 800-651-4808.
Has your heater busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW Home.
Life's been pretty worry-free since I got covered with ARW Home. Don't waste thousands of dollars on air conditioning, appliance repair, and replacements. Save that money with ARW Home. Protection plans that cover household appliances, systems, and electronics.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. I called ARW and they came out and fixed it right away.
Get your free quote today. Call or go to arwhome.com now.
Call 877-281-0289.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Just stepped into the ring again, toe to toe. Tell me when will this fighting end? Pain, it hurts. It just cuts me like a knife inside. Will you wrong? Or will you just leave it high? You always said that I've let you down so many times, but now you see that all I ever did was try to get your attention for just one little loving word, but now I'm gone. And our bridge is about to burn. Oh, I don't have to like you, but I love you. You're my flesh and blood. I don't have to like you, but I care of what you're thinking of. I don't have to like you, but I'd miss you if you went away. Oh, please tell me you love me before I fade away. I don't have to like you, but I love you. You're my flesh and blood. I don't have to like you, but I care of what you're thinking of. I don't have to like you, but I'd miss you if you went away. Oh, please tell me you love me before I fade away. Here we go. We just stepped into the ring again, toe to toe. Tell me when will this fighting end? Pain, it hurts. It just cuts me like a knife inside. Will you run? Or will you just leave it high?
so unusual that all the things that we've done the last 7 years, ringing of the bells and all that, always had a meaning.
Your bell, my wand.
Everything
The first
had a
time
meaning.
someone told us, we moved studios for the very first time from iHeart down to WNN at the time.
Right.
And we weren't even at the gallery yet. We didn't know where we were going to be. And someone gave me a beautiful Swarovski crystal wand. And another guest walks in, much with a similar gift to you, with the gift of the English language, and said, have you ever looked at your name the way it spells? No. He said, if you do that, you're going to come up with a wand. That was like this Mike wand drop moment for me. Because didn't know. I had the wand before someone even said. So when you look at the power of words, the power of energy, and what you said, I love the conscious being. What percent of we are conscious and subconscious?
Well, it's about the integration between the...
It was a very small conscious physical part versus
Oh,
our
10%
subconscious.
to 90%.
And I kind of
Yes.
feel that way with
Yes.
our spiritual life, of who
Yes.
we are spiritually. And we talk a lot about how do we integrate that.
Yes.
That I really think that maybe we are physically here 10%, but who we are spiritually, emotionally, authentically is much more 90% than what people see on the outside.
And what I think, what I've come to recently about this is that intuition, so-called, which is an interesting word again, we're intuition to something. In other words, at college I go and see a tutor, and that was being intuition. Well, when we can actually receive the messages from our subconscious, that's when we have intuitive moments, like the Singer sewing machine guy. So he was intuitive. But then the part that's even beyond that is that our subconscious can attract new intelligence. This is where we can actually, this law of attraction works internally to us, but then we resonate a signal into the energies of the planet, and fresh energies can come from the planet to us. And that's where it moves into the next kind of level. And that's what feng shui was important.
We're going to wrap up this segment and move on to some, I think, karaoke, raising the vibration.
Okay.
People get in touch with you. You said
Yes.
4 main reasons.
Okay.
Business.
Yep. Starting with the majority of my clients are to do with their own personal and spiritual development. Another part is to do with the energies of relationships. Another is then the energies of business. And I would say those are the major 3. I'd hold it with those 3. Yeah, those
What's
are the
the
major
best
3.
way to reach out to you?
Energyworlds.com. So that works. And also, I'll put out my phone number because that's the business number, 646-737-3470. So that's energyworlds.com, 646-737-3470. And I have a practice here in Broward County, around Boca, Fort Lauderdale, but clearly with Zoom and other means of communication. I have clients in Canada, I have clients in London, so it goes international.
Interesting. I think David Price France would be a nice addition to our Spirit Life
I
TV.
agree. I think it brings it home and explains a lot about what people just don't understand. There are a lot of businesses right now failing at what they want to do, but they're not looking at the reality as to why. And you're a huge why, so take advantage.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's been a real pleasure to be here, and kudos for navigating your way through and expanding and refreshing as you've gone. So
More to come, and
all power
we're
to
going to
you.
bring you back and talk more about 4th quarter success,
I'll be happy to do
which
that.
will be great. October, we're hitting quarter 4. We're right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
First day of fall. And I think our Music Man, do we have that in the board, by the way?
What
Bailey put together?
It's not on the board. It's on the deck. If you slide it over, it's there on the second screen.
Because Bailey, one of our animators, our head animator at the moment, has done a fantastic job in fulfilling what you asked. And you had asked her to create everyone as a superhero.
Yes, everybody in here will become a superhero.
So do you guys have that? Let us know when you find that. Turn on your audio because I think that is spectacular.
And we put music to the superheroes. So everybody that's in here has a music theme because in the day
Right.
you had to have a music theme. So I said to her, figure out the music themes for every piece that she's done, and it came out. It was fantastic. Now we're going to turn it into a mini movie, which is the next fun part.
You have it?
All right, so let's play that. Make sure the audio's on. Let's play that so people can see it.
That's Katie. Yeah. These are so great. Those are awesome. Bailey Altabet, spectacular job. So more to come. We're going to see what the next level goes.
So I'm scrambling these names. What is it that we're picking here now?
What are we doing, Josh?
I'm on A2 if you want to unmute me. Wait a second. And we're going to pull 2 names out of the cup. And then whoever those 2 names are, they're going to sing some karaoke.
They're going to sing karaoke over there?
They're going to sing karaoke.
And everybody's agreed to do this?
Everyone has agreed to sing. Yep. Everyone.
We're picking 2? You got 1 or you got 2?
I got 1.
Yeah, we are picking 2. Freddie has 1 and Don has 1.
Who do you got?
I got Bailey.
Bailey! You're the first singer.
You're the first singer. Okay.
And your partner is?
Alana.
I love it.
We need Bailey and Alana out here.
All right. We're going to set that up. We're going to head to a quick commercial break while we get that set up. Tune in on the other side of this break. We've got Bailey and Alana. Today is Alana's last day, so how fitting is that?
Wow.
Our animator and Alana.
Yeah.
All right.
You just played the part, too.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. I guess my subconscious called it.
Creative, enchanting, whimsical. Artist Gina Bella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions. Expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay, her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, Gina Bella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on Gina Bella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444. We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping!
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact sunrisecoffeenews@mail.com or give them a call at 954 951-7870.
Ever needed a good read? Maybe a book to keep your mind off things. Frank A. Ruffalo is an internationally known author and accomplished screenwriter. He's written many successful novels with amazing stories. Fiction adventures like The Lady of the Harbor, The Trihedral of Chaos, Gabriel's Chalice, 10048, and many more. For more information, visit www.frankaruffalo.com, or you can find Frank Ruffalo on Amazon.
Bright, bold, beautiful. Audrey Omart creates artwork pieces that make a statement in any room. Using ethically sourced material, these handmade artworks are made in collaboration with divine higher power. This unique method gives vision, passion, and energy to every piece. Find Audrey Omart's work at the Brooklyn Cafe Studios or audreynow.com. Audrey Omart, art that opens the heart.
Are you in need of cash scholarships for higher education? Looking to expand your network, improve your communication skills, and serve as a leader within your community? For women between the ages of 18 and 26, be bold and try something out of your comfort zone. The Miss America organization is the #1 leading provider of scholarships for women in the United States. A century-old program that has become more than what meets the eyes. Discover why women across our nation get involved today. Visit missamerica.org to learn more and find a local competition near you.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
So you knew about the bell?
I know nothing. I don't know nothing. All I know is that he makes a whole lot of sense.
Wow. And he's got a whole lot of verbiage in English. I thought you were going to tell me,
All right.
but you got it.
Yeah, I understood it, yeah. Well, you're surprised that I know a little English?
You graduated high school at 15, so you still blew me away from this morning.
In Puerto Rico, in the Caribbean, they end earlier
But
than
you went
here.
to school in New York.
No, in high school, I went from New York for 1 year, and I flew to Puerto Rico. But I didn't enter high school. I entered in my second year.
Pretty amazing. I think you're holding out on us.
Why? I knew 1 and 1 equal 2.
It's amazing, is all I can tell you. The energy vibration.
There was only 32 people in my graduating class.
Wow.
And we graduated in the chapel of the church on the second floor, because it was so small, nobody would rent us a hall or anything, and we didn't want to do the gym. So we did it in church. And guess who got to ring the bells?
You. There's a whole lot more to you than we know.
Just go with the flow.
More
You
to
got to know
find
me, you
out.
got to know yourself. All right, so what are we doing?
We're going to wrap up our Thursday show with a little bit of karaoke, having some fun. It was supposed to be Alana.
Alana, you've changed. How are you?
But it is not, so we've got...
How are you?
We got our
How
double
are
Bs
you?
up there. We got Bree and Bailey up there, getting ready to close out our Thursday on the first day of fall.
So what are they singing?
Spice Girls.
Yeah, what Josh said.
Spice Girls. All right, listen, I saw Spice Girls. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
9 a.m. drive time.
At 9:30.
All right.
What's wrong with her? Why is she holding her breath?
Forget my past. If you wanna get with me, better make it fast. So don't wasting my precious time. Get your act together, so if PJ I'll give you a try.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.